Hey, it's me, Fraser, building my applied AI consultancy business while documenting my thought processes and decisions so others can build along or learn from my experience. This is literally my second video, and the way I want to structure these videos is that first, we look at any open questions or questions left on the previous video, but this is a new channel and no one really knows it exists, so those don't exist either. And then dive into strategy, basically where we left off last time, note down some to-do items, leave at least one open question to reflect on, and finally put forward at least one action point to be done. To recap, we had two open questions last time, one being how do I classify my target companies, and second, what is my ICA? I had some time to reflect on how do I classify these target companies. And I classify them into four categories, right? One is micro, small enterprise, medium enterprise, and large enterprise. Micro, in my opinion, is a company with less than 10 employees and a turnover of roughly 2 million or less. A small enterprise would be a company with less than 50 employees and a turnover of less than or equal to 10 million. A medium enterprise would be a company with less than 250 employees and a turnover of less than equal to 50 million. And lastly, you have the large enterprise with more than 250 employees and a turnover greater than 50 million. Now, I've had clients all across these four categories, so this does not really help me much as my client distribution has been quite even. But even if one tips the scale, then I'll know where to focus on. But for now, we keep it as it is. Scrolling to the second question, what is my ICA? And I've been doing a little bit of brainstorm with ChatGPT, and here's what I came up with. But first, what is an ideal customer avatar? In my opinion, an ideal customer avatar is your perfect customer, the type of person who would benefit most from your product or service and is likely to buy from you. So why would every business create one? Well, for many reasons. One, it helps target your marketing more effectively, create messaging that resonates better, and choose the right platforms and channels, and finally develop products that meet market needs and not the other way around. With that in mind, I went on to create two avatars. One avatar being Markus, who's age 52. He's a male and likely a CTO at a mid or large enterprise. He lives in Europe, likely Germany, France, Netherlands, an income level of roughly 150,000 a year, 150,000 a year, and works in tech-enabled enterprise. That could be in finance, logistics, consulting, etc. And my second avatar is Anna. She's 48, a female, likely a founder or owner of a small but growing business, an income level of about 80 to 150K, who works in coaching, e-commerce, niche consulting, B2B services. Knowing these avatars helps me focus who I should target while I try to sell my services or how I should tailor my content. But that also means I need to understand what offering within my core component I can offer and to who. So I went on to categorize my offerings as you can see here. But before that, I'd like to talk a bit about when I believe a company should start looking into automation. If you're a company that makes 20,000 plus a month, it's a good sign that you should start automating tasks. Since at that point, leveraging your money to buy back time is your best return on your investment. When you start to scale to 50 or 100K a month, manual work will no longer cut it, right? Now, looking back at my categorization, when I say micro or small company, you should be making at least 20 to 30K a month to fall into this category. If not, you really don't need automations. You just need better systems or offerings. And remember, software is just a tool to help you accelerate. If it does not do that, then do not use it. If you do fall into this category, you will likely first need to map out all your processes, spot opportunities, and automate where needed. Either do it yourself or hire someone else to do it for you. This will help you make the jump from 20 to 50 to 100K a lot easier and sustainable because you have scalable systems in place. That's essentially where I help. I should remind you that this is not a replacement for having a bad business model. Software won't solve that magically for you. You need to do it yourself. Now, during the stage, there might be opportunities where you want to integrate AI, right, to give you a better competitive edge. And if you have a team, you will also need to train that team on how to best leverage its workflows and tools. This is where I come in. I bring in my frameworks, introduce existing tools, automations, or build new automations, provide the required trainings to you and your team so you have the best chance to succeed. I operate as your software growth partner. Now, if you're a company that consistently earns 100 to 200K a month, I characterize that as enterprise. That could be small, large, or medium based on the turnover we discussed earlier. Though there's an overlap in the want to adopt AI component, this looks very different for enterprises. And this is because they usually have some frameworks, tools, automations already in place. The trick here is how can you help them to innovate while integrating with their existing workflows and help them transition in this AI era. And how this usually looks like is I bring in my adoption frameworks, which we use to figure out how do we integrate AI, what are the pros and cons, how do we do cost benefit analysis, and finally come up with an adoption plan for these tools and automations. And then you also got to think about how you're going to integrate these tools and automations into existing workflows. And if they do not fit into existing processes, we need to come up with new workflows and help transition people into this new way of working. And that's where I provide the required trainings, the right documentations, and standard operating procedures. Then you have the component where companies that have started to adopt AI, they need really specialized help, right? And this could be creating a custom component like a chatbot, custom service workflows. And in this case, you need very specific help with implementation of RAG or retrieval augmented generation, or need human in the loop workflows, or think about evaluation and how you monitor and continuously improve on these. That's where I step in and bring in my expertise to help with that. And finally, there's the component where I will provide advanced AI services. And finally, there's this component where I will provide advanced AI services. Here, the companies need really specialized help, where they have the data, they have adopted AI, they have these customized workflows, and now they want to use this data to fine-tune a model that's better suited to their needs. I do not currently offer this, but I'm looking at expanding on the skills next. That's pretty much how I think about the components within my business. I must admit, I still haven't figured out how to package this into an actual offer. And what I've been looking into lately is Alex Hummus's book on 100 million offers. I've heard it's really, really good. And I think it's going to be my next action point for the next update, where I'm going to read through this book and understand how I can package the above into an actual offer. Putting down two open questions for next time. One being how to create an offer, and two, how do I package the above information and learnings into this offer. That's all the update for today. So until next time, keep taking action and be curious.